Hi, in today's video we're going to be looking at Singer Dressmaking Guide printed in the 1940s. This is a resource I recently picked up on Etsy, and it's a large PDF book, so you also can access it. I will link the seller shop below. And if you're like me and you're just kind of learning as you go, you haven't taken an official class, you haven't learned all the lessons from your aunt or your grandma, then this can be a very helpful and affordable resource as you continue on the journey of sewing, right? We know there is a huge vocabulary, and it's a great skill, I think, to learn that this resource hopefully will be helpful to you in your sewing journey. All right, so let's take a look at what is inside that book.
Okay. I want to, as quickly and concisely, give you kind of an overview of this book and why you might want to add it to your collection. Seeing that it has a wealth of information and it's attainable at such a great price. Even contacting the owner was so easy when I noticed that one page was missing, and she quickly added it in. So when you download this for yourself, you should be able to get the complete correct copy. But if there's any issues, of course, you can always contact the seller. She's very kind and quick to respond. All right, so looking at this, here's the cover, Dressmaking Guide, and it introduces the Singer molded to you form, which I don't have a dress form, but that would be cool to find one of these. I'm sure they don't exist anymore, but it seemed kind of like a plaster form that you make. Anyway, so looking on to the next page, we have the table of contents here, and you can see a lot of tabs. I've marked things that I'm studying, and then some big tabs that I thought you might be interested in seeing. So here's the table of contents. As you can see, all of the different pages, equipment, fabrics, measurements, pattern alterations, cuttings, markings, fastenings, seams and finishes, on and on and on. There's just a great amount of information here, and written very concisely and easy to follow. Okay, so let's just take a look at a couple of these tabs that I've put here. So it tells you the process of making the dress. And pinning, I underlined this for myself because pinning the pattern together, I've never done that. But I think I'm going to do that maybe next time before going straight into cutting the fabric. That makes more sense. And it just shows you all the process. And then a different equipment you might want in your room, like an ironing board, a table to work with. I don't have all of this in mind. I don't have the space for it. But it is something to shoot for in the future. Then your information about fabrics. This chart is really nice. You can take your measurements. It shows you exactly how to do that. And you can put them all in the chart here and compare them with your pattern measurements. So that might be something you would appreciate and use. I know I will. And then you can see pattern alterations, markings, different ways of marking, whether with chalk or tailor's tacks or things like that. Basting, seams and finishes. And then this tab actually is where I stopped because I'm in the process of studying this for myself. I'm making notes of what I want to revisit and dig into deeply or practice even and use on the next project. But this is where I've gotten to. I need to go from here. And then you can see like shirring and ruffling, how to go about that. Insets. Pockets, different kinds of pockets. And the nice thing here too is they have like your bound pocket. They have many different kinds of pockets you can do. and the bound buttonholes, which is something I've been wanting to learn, haven't learned yet, for like jackets and things. And then even towards the back, they have so many things here. They have fastenings, like how to do collars, setting in sleeves, you name it. It's all here, and I think it's a really great resource to have. And it's definitely very affordable. And then fastenings, how to do that properly. And decorative details, which is something that would be very nice, especially when you're sort of adapting a pattern to something that maybe is more personalized. And simple tailoring. And then at the very back, it has some things for like tips on sewing for infants, tips on sewing for children, which I will definitely be delving into more. And making, dresses for your daughter. So all in all, I think this is a really great resource and worth the few dollars it costs. And then at the back, it has a nice little chart here about materials and thread size and sewing machine needle sizes and things like that. It also has a dictionary. And then look at that. Isn't that very cute? A sort of colored picture at the end. Basically like an advertisement for their company. So all in all, I would say this is a great resource that if you are interested in learning more information, some of those sewing basics for vintage style, this is something that you're not going to be spending a lot of money on, that you can print at home. And it's very accessible. As you see, I have it in this folder, which it would be better probably in a spiral notebook. In the future, I need to do that. So right now, I just have these little are those called brads or brackets that hold this in. But all in all, I would say this is a great resource. I would recommend you looking into getting it if you're looking for just basic sewing information and techniques. And so that link is below. The seller also has another page where you can buy patterns from, but I just bought this guide, this dressmaking guide, and I wanted to share that with you today. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something. I hope it was helpful and informative. Let me know if you've looked at this dressmaking guide in the comments and what you think of it and how it helped you in your sewing process.